Hey guys, MWUSA Season 3 Episode 157, and as you can hear behind me, I am in a very peaceful place here in Canada. We are in a wooded area at a rental house and sitting in a little outdoor gazebo area with a deck and a fireplace, a fire pit, and just steps away from the beach. Gigantic trees all around, and just overall a really nice place, really comfortable place, large place, and enough for all of us. And I brought my mom with us on the trip, so that's where we are. That's where we've been for a few days. We will be leaving tomorrow, and just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of idea of what's going on with me. Just so you know that I'm still alive, I'm still hanging around here, and we actually drove to this area Wednesday. Wednesday is always my day off, and Thursday, Friday, obviously, I'm usually out of the office gambling anyway, but I took Thursday and Friday off as well, so I had all this time, and all I had to do is worry about my nighttime work for the office. But we drove here Wednesday. Took some time, but we got here early evening, and with having all the people in the car, everybody had to stop and go to the bathroom here, and go to the bathroom in another hour, and all these different things, and arguments with the kids, and all these things happening that you would expect to happen. But we finally did make it. We did not bring any fruits or vegetables or any meats, anything fresh like that, because of some of the things I read online. It looked like maybe that wasn't okay to do, and we were worried about bringing it with us and then getting the car searched and having it confiscated or having problems or something like that. So we didn't do any of that. But we got to the border, and they didn't ask us anything. Where are you going? How long are you going to be there? And we were on our way. Showed them the passports, and we were on our way. On the way here, there was a very large bridge that was under construction, and so all the lanes had to go on the other portion of the bridge, and that took a little bit longer, but really not long at all. And I only had like one car in front of me at the border crossing, and they were there for 2 or 3 minutes, and everyone was saying, switch lanes, that car is taking forever. But the last thing I wanted to do was switch lanes, and then they asked me why I switched lanes and have some kind of an issue or something like that. But we got a nice house, 4-bedroom house, nice big living room, big basement, pool table, all the stuff I already talked about outside, garage and everything. Now, one interesting thing is with the garage code was 1234, and the house code was like 8 digits long. But the garage is connected to the house, so you could just walk in the house. So I made sure that door was always locked going into the house from the garage, and that aggravated some people, but I got to think about our security, having everything that we have on the trip, and possibly money and other possessions and things. We didn't want to get robbed. That's kind of crazy that they made the code that way, but a lot of the local shops here by the beach, it's a very large beach area, but a lot of the local places by the beach are so incredibly overpriced. And although it was buy one get one free, it was really kind of a rip-off. $50 and $70 t-shirts, and my son forgot to bring a swimsuit. We got buy one get one half off, $50 Canadian for like a little kid. It's still like $40 US, but that's a lot of money for something like that. And parking at the park, actually, you had to pay $7 an hour, and there were other places that were free, so that was a little aggravating. And there were some, we have a pass for a private beach, but some of the private beaches are more private than others, so you couldn't go to all the beaches, so that was kind of a pain. So we went to the main beach, no problem there, and there was the private beach next to it. We had the pass. We crossed over into that, and I could tell that the people around us were a little annoyed, so I went and talked to one of them. He's like, "Oh, you've got the regular private beach. That's a couple hundred yards that way, or whatever, meters that way." So we ended up staying on the public beach at that point, and then later on went to our private beach. The water is nice. It's cold, but the temperature has been really good the whole time we've been here. 75 to 79 degrees. Gets down into the low 60s at night. So just a very comfortable situation. Overall, really good. I did pay for the kids to go parasailing, and one of the kids didn't want to go, and I had a feeling that she would want to later, and I was right. She did decide to go later on. They were completely booked, but I found a way to get a couple other people to go up on the same flight and make room for her, so she was able to go up as well. So that was really cool. They enjoyed that. They were up there for about 10 minutes each. They enjoyed that. So far up until today's lunch, we pretty much got ripped off at every restaurant we went to, and it's kind of aggravating. The first restaurant we went to, just the food was not that great. Frozen chicken, and if chicken is frozen and defrosted and refrozen, no matter how much you cook it, it's going to be chewy and tough and not good. But we had that problem at the first restaurant. We went to a pizza place after that, and the pizza, we got like a family meal thing, couple of pizzas and some garlic bread and things like that. It was supposed to be like $37. Ended up being $110. And I asked about it, and they're like, it says on the sign up there that that's for carry-out orders only. And it's like, the fact that you would do that to your customers, not good. And my wife ended up actually leaving a negative review of them and explained what happened on that. But and also the pepperoni was not like our pepperoni at all. It was closer to ham, and even the store owner said that he didn't like that pepperoni himself. It's like, why do you serve it if you don't even like it and you don't even eat it? But we got through all that. We bought t-shirts and things like that for the kids, and then some of them wanted to exchange them for a different size or different color, and that was a little bit annoying. We check back in with the house every once in a while, go do something, come back, go do something, come back. And with the beach being less than a mile away for the private beach, it's very easy to go back and forth. And yesterday we also ended up going to McDonald's and getting ice cream for everyone. That was all good. But they have these stores, and I can't remember, I think it's called No Frills, and it's a grocery store. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know of Aldi stores, but Aldi stores are kind of like a smaller grocery store, and they have smaller sizes, so you might not get a huge box of cereal, but you'll get a medium-sized box for a reasonable price. And that's how this place was. And they had a brand that they called the No Name brand. So the brand says no name on it. So we got a couple towels that said towel, no name, towel for the beach. And they had like cups for drinking, coolers for keeping things cold. And it was all no name brand, but it was reasonably priced. And we went shopping at this grocery store and got some nice things. The meat was a little bit expensive, but overall the prices were very reasonable there. So then today, which I said was Friday, I don't know how I got to Friday. Well, Wednesday we drove here, and then Thursday I just reviewed, and then Friday today we ended up getting up a little bit late, relaxing. We went down to the beach for a little while. The waves were a little bit high, but it was good. And they have really, really sandy, fine sand beaches, and they also have rocky beaches. And the kids kind of like the rocky ones because they want to look for sea glass and fancy cool rocks and things like that. So we're going to both of them, really. Today we went to a Greek restaurant that was excellent, the best deal. It was like 35 kilometers away, and they're like, oh, you're at that beach area? You were paying beach prices, weren't you? And you're getting beach quality, weren't you? And we were like, yeah, we were getting terrible food for a high price. And although our meal was still a couple $100s here because we have a big family, it was very good, very reasonable, very tasty, and we were actually able to take food home with us that we enjoyed and we want to eat more of. And so that was all good. And they also have a store here called Dollarama. And Dollarama is kind of like a Dollar Tree, like it's $1 per item, but then now it's expanded into other stuff. So there's like more like a Dollar General. Things could be $3 or $4 or $5, and we got a bunch of candy and things that we don't have in the States. And the kids really enjoyed that. I'm looking at a black squirrel about 10 feet away from me right now in a tree, and he's just hanging out there looking at me and doing his business and not afraid at all. But anyway, we got all this Dollarama candy and they had fun doing all that. The rest of the day today we're going to be going to the beach, get a nice dinner, come home and relax and just keep taking it easy. And tomorrow is Saturday, so we'll probably have breakfast and maybe even lunch and head back. On the way home, about 3 or 4 hours into our trip, we're going to be stopping in a big city and doing some shopping there, and then continue on, and we should be home by evening. So overall, having a good time, enjoying our trip. And I don't know whose dog that is barking. Someone walking by. But there you go. That's the loudest it's been here since we've been in this area. Just taking it easy and relaxing. And although I'm losing EV and probably would have made 4 or 5K this week, enjoying time, quiet time with my family, with my mom, and just relaxing. And that's really healthful, and that's healthy EV. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. I'll probably come back and update this episode a little bit more before I release it. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. We are back home, and everything is good. Saturday evening now, and just settling back in. Got food and everything, and on the way home, about halfway through the trip, we stopped in a city that has a lot of places where they sell vegetables and fruit and fresh, meats and things like that. And we picked up a lot of things that we normally can't find in our area or are a lot more expensive in our area. So, we're driving a van, and, we already have a lot of people, but we really filled up the van to the point where people had stuff under their legs, like by their feet, on their lap, everything. And we really loaded up on everything and got home, and we're relaxing, and everything is all good. So, overall, I would say the trip to Canada was good. I would say that Americans have a totally different standard of living than the people where we visited. I don't want to blanket everybody in the area or the whole country, but I can tell you that food was, for the most part, was cheaper. Taxes were a lot higher. Gas prices were astronomical. California prices plus for gas prices, and overall their standard of living where we were is a lot lower than our standard of living, but the people were mainly nice. There were a few people that were rude, but for the most part they were, my impression would be like the average Midwestern families, which is great. I mean, that's what we are, average Midwestern family. We work hard. we have our faith, and I mean, they're a lot like us. And clothing prices were ridiculous. We did go out of the area and went to a Greek restaurant and had some really good food there. And it's the most that we paid for any meal, but it was the best value of any meal. We got the most food, the most delicious food, the best service. And then we went to a dollar store called Dollarama. And so if it's $1, then it's like 70 cents for us. And we bought a lot of things, a lot of different kinds of candy and things that the kids wanted. So that was all good. The house that we were in was good, but not great. It was a huge house, lots of bedrooms, including one in the basement and one upstairs, multiple bathrooms, huge kitchen with an island that seats like 5 or 6 people, as well as a dining room table that probably seated, I want to say 10 people. Plenty of beds for 10 adults. The area outside was pretty nice. It wasn't kept very good, but there was a nice sitting area and a fire burning area and a gazebo area. Lots of plants and ferns and stuff outside, and just a very peaceful area. People walking around, walking their dog and things like that, and it was very peaceful and quiet. And of course, like I said, we had our own private beach area that we visited, so all of that was good. I found that a lot of places took advantage of tourists, and I hate to say that, but we went to 4 places, and I paid attention to pricing. Other than grocery type stores, we went to 4 places and bought things, and every one of them overcharged. And I noticed, so like a farmer's market that we went to, they overcharged me, they overcharged the person before me, they overcharged the person after me, and they overcharged someone when I came back to get a refund. And she was complaining about being overcharged. And I feel like things are expensive enough for people, you don't have to cheat them as well. Either have your prices be high and have them be a good enough value that people are going to come, or don't. But that's, to me, that's stealing, and it's dishonest to do it where something is $4 and you charge them $7 or $8, and you try to hide it somehow. So on the way back, we go through Border Patrol. On the way out, we didn't have any problem at all. The person in front of us took a long time, but then he just asked where we were from and where we were going. On the way back, there was a very long line, and I always picked the wrong line that was going the slowest. And we finally get up there, and the guy takes our IDs, our passports, and he's so quiet I could barely understand him. So I'm like leaning in to hear what he says, and he says, "Where are you from?" And I told him the state, and then he paused, and then like a minute later he goes, "So you live in the whole state?" I said, "No, we live in this city." And then he said, "Well, where's that? What part of the state is that in?" Like he's testing me or something. And I told him, and I couldn't understand a couple of the things that he was saying, and I asked him to speak up a little. I wasn't trying to be rude, but I couldn't understand. And I noticed that when we got home, one of my kids had brought over a melon from over there, and you're supposed to declare that. I said, "Don't ever do that. I told you, anything that we're going to bring over, we have to tell them at the border. They'll decide if we can bring it or not. I'm not in the mood to be arrested or searched or have a bad name." And so I got on them for that. But overall, was decent and got to spend time with the family and quiet. Now the downside is, right now, I'm way behind. I'm estimating $7,000 or $8,000 behind right now on where I need to be for this time of year to get my goals. So we got to step it up a little bit. And unfortunately, this week, the overnight is not going to be an overnight. I have to come back Wednesday for a meeting and then leave Thursday morning and get back out there. So there's going to be some tough times coming up here. But we just got to keep doing the right thing and stay on the right road. So I am working on some new projects, and they'll probably end up working out around November. Hopefully those work. I do want to get into sports. I hear a lot of people talking about sports arbitrage. I haven't done it. I just never felt like I had the time, and I don't know if it's worthwhile. It seems to me like you don't make a lot of money before you get backed off, but if I'm wrong and someone wants to help me with that, I'm all ears. But it just seems like, all right, you're going to put 1,000 this way and 1,000 that way, and then you win, and they might say, okay, no more bets or something like that. And if you do win, then what are you going to win? You're going to win 5%, 10%, and you've got thousands and thousands of dollars out there, and hopefully you collect. And I may be way off here, but that's what it seems like to me. So that's really about it. We're going to wrap it up, and Sunday we're going to have a long day. I know we're fresh off the trip, but need to make some money, so we're definitely working Sunday afternoon into Monday morning. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.